religion that we're going to look at today. So it's not a religion that we follow, but we're going to look at it to understand this mystery religion of Babylon, as it's referred to in sometimes. So this is the religion started in the time period of the Tower of Babel that they worshipped, and so after the Tower of Babel, they had different languages. So they referred to Nimrod and his mother wife with different names in the different languages. So one of the names that the Canaanites referred to them were Baal and Asherah. So Nimrod was known as Baal, and his wife was known as Asherah. So we look at 2 Chronicles 33, 1 through 5. It says, Manasseh was 12 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 55 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, following the detestable practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before the Israelites. Yeah. See, so he built the high places his father Hezekiah had demolished. He also erected altars to Baal and made Asherah Poles. So that would be Nimrod and his mother. So he made altars to Baal and Asherah Poles. He bowed down to all the starry host and worshipped them. He built altars in the temple, of which the Lord said, my name will remain in Jerusalem forever. So the temple where the Lord said his name would remain. In both courts of the temple of the Lord, he built altars to all the starry hosts. He sacrificed children in the fire of the valley of Ben Hinnom, practiced divination and witchcraft. He sought omens and consulted mediums and spiritists. He did much evil in the eyes of the Lord, arousing his anger. So they were sacrificing children, practicing witchcraft, seeking omens, consulting mediums, and bowing down to starry hosts. So this religion is the basis of a lot of the occult type of worship that we have today, the satanic worship that exists today. Okay, so let's look at some of the practices of this religion. So they sacrifice children to the two-horned god Moloch, and he's also identified as Satan in some places. So the other thing they said they had was Asherah Poles. So Asherah pole is a sacred tree or pole that stood near Canaanite religious locations to honor the Ugaritic mother goddess Asherah, who was Nimrod's wife. The Asherim were also cult objects related to the worship of the fertility god Asherah. So you have Deuteronomy 16:21?
I do. Do not set up any wooden Asherah pole beside the altar you build to the Lord your God.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So God was against that. And they also were represented as an obelisk. Obelisk is like it's like a tall
It's
pole.
what we have in Washington, D.C. and many places, I guess
Yes.
Argentina.
Yeah. So obelisk is originally a phallic symbol of Babylonia. Yeah, so it was about fertility. Mm-hmm. So these were the ones in Babylon. This is the you see that it's called an obelisk.
Huh?
That was part of their worship that they used.
What was it?
It was an obelisk. Symbolized fertility, so it was supposed to symbolize a male part.
Oh wow!
And symbolize fertility. Have
Who
you
the
seen?
people
Have
that
you
were
seen
doing
one?
that?
This were the Babylons, but a lot of cultures did it. Have you seen one of those before?
I have.
Have you seen this one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I didn't realize that's what that stands for in Washington.
Well, that's not what they claim it stands for, but it just happens to be the
In the
same
old
exact
days,
thing.
in the early days, that's what they would do.
Well, they don't know how they brought it there, right?
But so it's some say it's the
Wow.
same. So this was part of the mystery religion of Babylon, and yeah, so we'll see throughout this lesson that there are a few symbols, and like last week we had the symbol of the pyramid with the eye on the back. It's the eye of Horus, and Horus is Nimrod's son.
The eye of Horus?
On the back of a dollar,
Yeah.
that's called the eye of Horus. And Horus is Nimrod's son.
Nimrod was...
The guy who built the Tower of Babel. The guy who started this religion.
He's also the guy that married his mother.
Yes.
Wow.
Rejoice. So many people have fallen for the mystery religion, and we see signs of it. We saw, the Washington Monument. So in our nation, in the founding of our nation, there was some ties to it. And then we also see that. So let's look at some holidays. So basically, I guess I'll state that. So the Catholic religion so we got Christmas and Easter, but they said, so there were pagan holidays there at the time, but they said we're going to put these there to overtake those pagan holidays. So that's what they claim, is they wanted to overshadow the pagan holidays. And so we'll look at the origins of Easter. So Easter, there was a legend of Sumeraeus that when she died, she went to heaven and returned inside of a large egg and fell into the Euphrates River. The egg was pushed ashore by a dove, and she emerged from the egg as Astarte, or Ishtar in English. So she emerged as the goddess Ishtar out of that egg. And to show her gratitude for the dove, she turned it into an egg-laying rabbit as a symbol of fertility. So they would worship on this day in March, the spring equinox or whatever it is around that day. They would worship Ishtar. They would have fertility rituals in the for Ishtar, and they involved a bunny rabbit that laid eggs, and that's how Easter came. That's what
the rabbit is significant in the Easter holiday.
Right, and so Easter is named from Ishtar, who was Sumeraeus. So that's where that holiday came from.
Then, if that's the original, how do we still celebrate it? Because now we understand it as being Christ reborn after 3 days.
Right, so we don't celebrate that. We celebrate Christ's resurrection.
Right.
And they put it...
It was chosen to be that day because there was already a pagan holiday then.
Oh,
So
I
they're
see.
like, let's just sort of take this and use it.
Okay. So they put it...
Yeah.
The stated goal was to overshadow the pagan holiday. So the basis of the religion still exists today, and it's been propagated in a lot of the secret societies actually practice this religion or a form of it. That's why you see the symbols in various places. So it's the basis of Western occultism, it's the basis of Satanism, it's the basis of New Age, which was started by, anyway, it's the basis of witchcraft, and it's most directly the basis of Luciferianism, which is not the same as Satanism.
Luciferianism is an actual religion?
It's a religion, and they worship Lucifer, the light bearer, so they don't necessarily associate the negative qualities to him. They call him the light bearer, and they kind of believe that it's not about just all being good. You need good and evil. You need good and you need evil. And it's, So for conclusion, so this mystery religion of Babylon was created by Nimrod and Semiramis almost 3,000 years ago. The religion was set up to oppose God and to entice people to turn away from God. The spirit behind the religion is Satan himself. Babylon spiritually symbolizes the city of a man or the city of Satan. One way to look at the Bible is the tale of two cities, Jerusalem and Babylon. Both began in Genesis and both end in Revelations. The mystery religion is the seed of the serpent, and it opposes the seed of the woman, Christianity. So we've unveiled some of its characteristics and rituals of the religion, so you might be able to identify its offspring and choose wisely when the time comes.